Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. Happy Friday. I know we've been very spoilt with long weekends recently. Now we're back to the short, normal ones.
Yeah, it's so irritating. All of the public holidays seem to be like crammed into these like last 2 months. Everyone's going to realize like I've got no leave left.
I know. Everyone's like, oh.
Yeah. Listen, some very exciting news. I mean, it's exciting because I'm very glad to hear that these stories are finally making their way through to the headlines. But Justice for Ngcobo has finally, that sort of campaign is done and dusted. And he's been convicted with 30 years in prison as well. So he was such a dodgy, slimy character.
When the judge was pronouncing the judgment, all the stuff that he said to him, and it was quite heartfelt. But I do think we have a femicide on our hands in South Africa, and it's a state of emergency, really.
Yeah, so you better stay glued to your television screens, to your radios, to the newspapers, wherever you can, because lots is going on in our country. And it's so crazy to think that we're already halfway through 2018, and these are just the stories to start off the year. It's been a tough year on South Africans' pockets as well, with the increase in VAT and petrol going up as well to record heights. So we all need the help that we can get. And today, we're joined by just the right guy.
Jabulani Ngcobo, or Mr. Cashflow, as he's affectionately known, is a businessman, motivational speaker, and successful Forex trader, a self-made millionaire. His new book shares some of the secrets to his success, and we'll be unpacking it with him.
Should be a great story. You can also call into the show at any point to ask him any questions. We'd love to hear from you. If you have those questions and perhaps don't want to call in live, you can tweet us at Afternoon Chat. Use the hashtag Afternoon Express so we can find all of your tweets. Or there is obviously our Facebook page. We're Afternoon Express. Go and find it. They comment on the post, and we'll check through them in the ad breaks. Plus, in the kitchen, we're making a steak sandwich like you've never seen one before. I got a sneak peek to it. Oh my goodness, it's not to be missed. It's South African inspired and it's perfect for a weekend indulgence.
Now, first up, he's a rising star on the South African R&B stage, and he's burst onto the scene in 2016 with his debut single Swerve, and his humble attitude is a breath of fresh air in an industry that is often ego-driven. His latest single, Deja Vu, was released just over a month ago and is an emotional tribute to 3 close friends that he has lost in his life. It's Rick Tyler.
If only I could turn the time, then I would come to save your life again. Cause you deserve to have it all, and even more to spend. Just know I still think of you, and every time I do, we driving through faded, rolling down Terrace Avenue. Climbing up the view, feel like deja vu. When I think of you, feels like deja vu. Every time I think of you, feels like deja vu. Every time I think of you, of you, of you.
What a beautiful, beautifully shot music video. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, what an emotional performance.
Yeah, that looks like quite an emotional song.
Yeah.
And it's called Deja Vu. It's your latest single.
Yeah.
And it's something close to your heart. Yeah. Tell us about the loss of your friends.
It's Heino, Callan, and Jacob. So what happened to them is they passed away in a car accident. So I thought, let me just make just a special tribute for them.
Yeah.
Because it did affect me, for the longest time, and it was just a letting go thing and just dealing with the fact that we lose people.
Yeah.
So it was
It cannot be that simple.
Yeah,
I mean,
death
losing
is a
one
difficult
person
thing
is
to
already
understand.
difficult, but then to lose 3 people all at the same time, and I mean 3 people who are really close to you. How does one even go about starting to grapple with that thought and that idea of these people no longer being in your life?
I think, for anyone who's lost anyone, just you have to just make peace, with the fact that it's just a process in life, that happens. So I was still getting used to that. It was the first time I lost somebody close to me like that, But yeah, I mean, I always get emotional when I speak about it, but I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, and you're allowed to, man. You're allowed to. It's not easy for people to go through what you've been through at all.
Yeah. So the rise of your star has been rather unconventional. So tell us about the roundabout way you got to where you are.
I did many things in my life. I bounced from acting to dancing to singing to modeling, and I wasn't really sure of what I wanted to do, and how singing came in. I always say, the music kind of found me. It was always there. I just never embraced it. And I was just, I was overseas, and I was staying with this guy named Will. I have to put him out there because, he's, the real inspiration, who
But
actually...
you ended up in that position because you won a modeling competition.
Yeah. And they flew me to New York, did the show, and then I stayed in Brooklyn. And in the studio...
Look at you in that romper. Is that a romper?
Yeah, no, I was actually telling Carl, I was like, yo, I look like the Black Aladdin, you know?
Right?
Yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah, it was the first fashion week I did. You know, it was really cool. You know, and I just met like a whole bunch of different people, and like I said, being in studio and just falling in love with the process of just creating music. And I'd always throw in ideas, and eventually, like, we worked on a song, and it was kind of there when I was like, okay, let me give this a go, and yeah, this is where I am right now.
Came today. So obviously that love for music was always a big part of your life. I mean, no one just wakes up one day and realizes they can sing. It's something that you kind of play around with, you realize you've got a talent for, and you explore other avenues. You're like, oh, I can't really make a career out of that.
Yeah.
What was that pivotal moment? Where was that moment where you're like, oh, wait, this is something now that I want to pursue, regardless of having to go for the risks?
When I got back to, when I flew back to Joburg, I carried on just like jumping on like, just downloaded beats from your web checks and stuff, and just kind of putting out music and seeing the reception I would get, because I mean you're not really sure until the people know, like what you do, and like when people started to give me like some good feedback, that's kind of when I was like, cool, I want to do this, and that's when Playground founded me, and
Another interesting aspect about your story is that you're born a month after our first democratic elections in South Africa, right? Like you're proper born free.
Yeah, no, it's that.
What does it mean for you to be a born free artist living in South Africa today?
That means it's everything to me, like my mom told me a very special story, back then she was studying at Zulu University and they were getting shot at. And she was pregnant with me at the time. And she said she doesn't know how she survived, but like she was running and she jumped the gate. She didn't know how she was going to jump, but she got over, by God's grace, And that story kind of sticks with me forever. But like till this day, she's never hated any side, the fact that I bring in whoever into my house, and she shows me what humility really is, and she loves so much. So it's taught me to just continue to love and to continue like a special legacy.
That's beautiful.
That's really what it means to me.
It's a beautiful legacy to hold on to.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents also try to instill all of those values of kindness and love and gentleness into your heart. But in the world that we live in today, you are fighting all the odds, especially in a creative industry like yours, where everyone's trying to steal, take everything from you. And trying to remain humble is quite difficult in this space. As a young and a new artist in this sort of space, really climbing these ranks, what are some of the challenges you think you face on that perspective?
Right now I have the perfect team, just the perfect team who guide me and who mentor me at the same time, and we're a family. So right now, I make my decisions based off of what we all think is, the right decision, because we're not trying to take anything from each other. I just think what you surround yourself with is so important in just moving forward, and that helps me balance out exactly where I'm going, So I'm blessed with a really good team, shout out to Playground for that, and that's just what it is, like what you surround yourself with.
But what are the challenges, though? What are the challenges new artists are facing?
Okay, it's definitely just to be getting onto radio and just to really get that reach and that recognition. There's so many blockages. It's always that thing of who you know and that and that and that. And I always say just make sure you put the music first and make an impact. To the point where no one can really block you. It's just hard to it's hard to get out there. It's not an easy industry, so. Yeah, just make that impact.
It's also an industry that really praises bravado. The bigger, the bigger you stunt, the better, the better people are received. Or sometimes people use bravado to shield some insecurities or any vulnerability that they feel. What is your choice of the path to walk, and why?
I walk just my truth. I just have to just be who I am. I don't like to be arrogant. I don't like arrogant people. I don't like to stunt too hard. I don't feel like I have to. I just really make an impression on substance. I want people to feel my story, my music. I want you to love me for my music. I don't really care about all the other stuff. I want you to love my music. that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's where
The talent will shine through. I mean, it almost feels like that's an open-ended sort of answer, because all artists feel that. All artists feel like, I want people to love me for my music.
Yeah.
But really in this industry, to try and, with all the noise that's out there and the amount of social media stuff that's available to you, if you're not loud, you don't do something outrageous, there's nothing like, fighting for, it's very difficult to build a name for yourself. And so I want to see you thrive in the space, so please don't ever lose that. I'd rather you fall out of the industry and not lose that than rise up with this arrogance. You know?
Yeah. We'd rather you model and just wear those Aladdin rompers.
I feel you. Thank you so much.
Now, Ricky will be back with us for a live performance at the end of the show, so don't leave your seat. And after the break, we're on the couch with Mr. Cashflow, self-made millionaire Jabulani Ngcobo.
Indeed. So if you guys have any questions for the money expert himself, then you can tweet us at Afternoon Chat. Remember that hashtag Afternoon Express, so we can go and find that comment, or you can find us on our Facebook page. And if you'd like to call into the show live, perhaps you've got some really cool questions to ask the rest of the country needs to know. 021 430 9881. Let's have a conversation. See you after this.
Mass is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We are live on SABC3. It's about to get yum. It's finally the end of the week, and we are kickstarting the weekend with a crunchy, tasty steak sandwich like you've never had it before. Clover amasi, with its creamy texture and rich flavor, is the key ingredient in today's recipe. You can SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this sent to your mobile device. Man, oh man, do you know how to make some fun recipes?
Are you hungry?
Oh, I'm so hungry.
This is a good one. This puts you straight into that food coma.
Thanks.
Let's get
Please,
started. So
yeah.
we're using Ngcobo Masi full cream as not only a tenderizer, but it's going to add some flavor to the meat as well.
Y'all might not believe it, but Ngcobo Masi was a huge part of my family's home as a kid because my mother loved making rusks. And Ngcobo Masi was such a big part of making those rusks
That's
in the
true.
process.
It works so well. So what they actually do is they take the full cream milk, add lactic acid to it, it breaks it down, you get that mass, which is that tang, but yet, funny enough, creaminess at the same time, which is really, really amazing. So I'm going to use it for that flavor and to tenderize our meat.
Lovely.
I love marinating meat in Masi. It is just like, it's the best thing ever.
Is this, what kind of meat are you using? Is this like a steak?
Yeah, I'm using a minute steak, which is really great because we're going to fry this really quickly. But you could do this with chicken as well. I love doing it with chicken breasts.
Okay.
Because chicken breasts tend to go dry as you cook them, right? Not with this. Actually, while we're talking, can you just mix it all up for me?
Sure.
So if you're going to marinate your chicken in the Masi, it actually breaks it down, breaks down those fibers. The chicken breast becomes super, super tender.
Nice. It's the worst thing in the world when you buy a steak sandwich. I don't know if you guys have had this before, where either the person's cut the steak up into bits, and then obviously all those bits fall out of the sandwich, or they make the steak so thick that you bite one bit and you're yanking the sandwich out to get the piece of steak off. Minute steaks, and obviously when they're tenderized with amasi, then I'll just break off beautifully. It's like eating into butter.
Exactly. And the longer it sits in that amasi, the more tender it'll become, and the more flavor it'll take on as well.
I've washed my hands. Why can't I just use my hands to do this for you?
You can. Go for it. Show me what you
just
got.
to help you get the, just to get this.
So I know you did wash your hands earlier, so I don't mind. So can you press down now onto the steak? That's why I was doing that. Because you really want to get the flour
compacted
into all those little crevices, and you want to make sure it sticks really well.
So it's like making like a southern fried chicken, but a southern fried steak.
Dan, I think you're actually getting it. You know what? I'm so proud of you. Here you go. You can have this.
You're rude.
I love it. Okay, carefully now. And the trick is,
slowly.
actually put it in from the side.
Yeah.
And away from yourself.
Oh, I see. So it splashes up onto it.
Look at that. Oh, my boy.
Save myself.
Done. Okay, cool. So this is going to cook really, really quickly. And I like the fact we're using the minute steaks again because they cook in a minute. That's the name.
Oh, good.
Love it. All right, so
Makes me sound like a fool.
let's boil these right,
A
boys.
pitied fool.
Mr. T, look at you, Dan. I love your energy on Fridays.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's a weekend. I'm so excited to get this recipe done and Dustin's looking out of here.
All right, cool. Let's go. So we've got some nice ciabatta. Use any bread that you have at home, whatever's left over.
You're just doing a fancy for today.
Of course. Then I've got some chakalaka and mayonnaise.
Nice.
Nice and spicy.
Oh,
This is a
that looks
hot
good.
chakalaka. All right.
This is Clem's particular version of this recipe. Obviously, whatever you got at home, layer your sandwich with whatever you want at home. Play around, get creative, get interesting. It's going to be delish.
Oh, look at that steak. A little bit of salt.
That
This is-
definitely takes steak out of mistake.
Exactly. You know what? Because a lot of people are out there making mistakes. Just watch the show, watch the recap, check out, get the SMS as well, and you're winning. Tomato, lettuce, upside down so it sticks.
Yeah, make it fit on properly. So I'm busy complaining about how the steak usually falls off the sandwich, but this one looks like the lettuce is going to fall off the sandwich. That looks so good.
How big is that sandwich though?
What is that?
Can you guess?
Oh, it's caramelized onions.
Beautiful caramelized onions with a little bit of brown sugar and vinegar. So it's like an onion marmalade.
Yeah, yeah.
Then, another one. And because we should have done a few more greens, how about we just like skewer this bad boy on here?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's the weekend. Honestly, this recipe feels like the weekend. It's one of those recipes you want to indulge in after really either a big night out or perhaps you've got a whole bunch of family and friends around. We're using all the leftovers in the house. Just put these delicious sandwiches together. It's so simple and so easy. You can SMS the keyword Ngcobo to 33650 to get it sent to your mobile device. And just in case you missed anything on the show today, guess what? Here's a recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Dinner is sorted. Now let's move on to the conversation that's causing a lot of controversy and exciting conversation online. Everyone's very excited when it comes to talking about money, and Forex trading has to be one of the most misunderstood and vilified professions out there. And we've got an incredible guest joining us on the couch today to share more of his story with us, with countless stories of fraud that's been out in the industry, as well as many ways to save on trading. One might assume that Forex traders are nothing but fraudsters who take advantage of people to become rich.
Jabulani Ngcobo is one of the first Forex traders in the country to make millions out of trading. He's also known for rubbing shoulders with celebrities and living a flashy lifestyle. But at some point, it wasn't all roses, and he's had to fight to clear his name as a Forex trader. He joins us in the loft today to demystify the misconceptions about Forex trading.
It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, lovely to have you.
Yeah.
Your story is incredible. I mean, I'd be very interested to hear more from you about that story of sort of growing up, that first time that you had to, you know, end up having to clear your name, and how we ended up in this position today.
Yeah, no, it's simple. As I always say, as a black man, you're not allowed to make money in South Africa, and that's the reality. When I'm talking money, I'm talking about real paper, you know, so not making peanuts, you know, so in most cases, most entrepreneurs build their businesses without any resources or recourses. But immediately after building their businesses, they suffer attacks from institutions or big companies. You know, you come with the product, you compete with whatever big company. They'll want to buy you out. So they'll offer you money to tell you, this is our space. You can't operate here. You know? Yeah. And then two, when it's come to financial business, you know, I always say, if you go to each and every city, about 50% of the buildings, they are owned by the institutions, you understand? And there's no black-owned bank right now that is successful, you understand? So, and then the regulators, they only serve the certain race, you understand, not us, you understand? They'll tell you about a certain experience. Where were we? Because 1994 is new compared to 1856, you understand? So that's why I always say, up until the systems change in South Africa, in Africa as a whole, in fact, we still have a long way to go. You understand? Yeah. That's why as Jabulani, I don't celebrate freedom, because what is freedom? Is sharing the same toilet with white people? Is that freedom? No. Up until we are financially free, and then I'll celebrate freedom. How can you say we are free in the land we do not own? You understand? So
that's why, politically and maybe socially free, but financially not.
Politically, socially, yes, but financially still have a long way to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously that's a multi-layered conversation. There's many reasons why we're not financially free, dating back to colonial times.
Yes.
But with living in a country like South Africa, where so many people are economically disadvantaged, there is a narrative, I feel like, is playing out around the whole Forex trading issue, and that's that you can make money quickly. You just have to be clever enough to find the quickest way. Is that healthy?
No, that's why people get it wrong, and it's a painful thing for me, because I'm the one who introduced Forex trading in South Africa. Whether people like it or not, today they are trading indirectly or directly. It's because of me, because of my energy, you understand? So people have been following my story, starting from when I threw a R1 million party in 2011. It's not that I was crazy, but I wanted to be controversial. That was intentional, you understand? I wanted people to say, who's this guy who can throw R1 million party at the age of 26? And then obviously that will channel them to my website, and then see, there's something called Forex trading. So I had to do something abnormal to get the attention from people.
Yeah. You want the attention because you want to teach more people about Forex trading, or
I wanted to
how
expand
does it work?
the business.
What do you get out of it?
I wanted to expand the business, because my business, Cashflow Pro, is about training people on how to take control over their finances. Yeah. But to answer her question regarding Forex, Forex trading is not like an overnight success, you understand? So that's what that's the perception that has been created out there, that if you do Forex trading, you'll be rich overnight. And that's how people get it wrong, you understand? I always say, if you trade Forex, if you trade like doing Forex, if you can make at least between 6 and 18% on a monthly basis, that's okay. But now, in most cases, people trade with $1,000 or $2,000 and they want to be rich overnight. That doesn't make sense. I strongly believe, again, that Forex trading is for guys with big accounts, you understand, not small amount. Because if you're trading 50,000 US dollars, if you're making 10% or 60% of $50,000, that money. On the other hand, if you're trading $500 or $1,000, you're not going to enjoy it. You want to risk more and then end up losing money. So it's the perception that has been created around Forex that is wrong. Otherwise, Forex trading has outperformed any other investment in the world.
I'm intrigued to know. I mean, you're talking about sort of trying to get people out of economic sort of slavery and trying to free them.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're saying how risky this business is from like a financial perspective, how much investment it's going to take to get there. So are we sending the right message to communities who are struggling financially that in fact Forex is your avenue out of poverty?
Look, for me personally, I'd rather try Forex trading than keeping my money in the banks. I mean, our parents, they retired financially poor. Our forefathers, they retired financially poor. The people who are employed right now, it's a fact, they will retire financially poor. Because the investment, they give you less 6% per annum. And then you look at the inflation, it increases maybe around 12% per annum. So already
losing money,
you are in shortfall of meeting the standard of living. And that is happening at a compounded rate against you. So I'd rather try something new. If I make money, I make money. If I lose it, at least I'm trying something new. Because if my money is in the bag, it's not invested, it's saved.
Before we run out of time, I just want us to clarify to some viewers who are asking themselves this. So you were accused of fraud and you've now cleared your name, am I correct?
Yes.
Could you just briefly explain that to us?
Back to square one. My company, Cashflow Pro, as I've mentioned, is training people on how to trade on the stock market, Forex trading. So we were doing so well in 2011. By the time when I even threw $1 million party, like our bank statement was flowing cash every day, you understand, and we'll spend cash anyhow. So now, you must understand one thing. When I grow my business, directly I'm a competition to the institutions. So if I introduce 1,000 students or people to trade, so I'm taking business from the institutions. Now, who control the media? Who control the law? It's the big institution. So there was no way they will allow me to take business away from them. And you really think that's stupid? No, they are not. They knew very well that I'm not guilty from day one. They thought that if they investigate me or run away, so unfortunately I'm one stubborn person. So I fought up until today. So now the intention was clear. Let's destroy this guy's reputation so that people would go against him and look at him as a con man, and then we can win our clients back. Because that's the facts around this. There's no other thing. Because there's no way that the institution like Reserve Bank will say I've contravened the Banks Act. But when I get to court, justice prevailed. Because I say, no, I don't know what this. In fact, I didn't win the case. I was acquitted because there was no case against me from day one. But this is not the message that is out there. So for 4 years, I had to work under those conditions, being labeled as a con man. You understand? So that's how difficult it is to be a black entrepreneur in South Africa.
Okay, and the conversation is obviously going to continue. I'm sure you guys have many questions for Jabulani himself, so you can tweet them through to @AfternoonChat and use the hashtag AfternoonExpress or comment on the Facebook page. I'd love you obviously to call into the show live as well to share your thoughts and to ask your questions. 021-430-9881 is the number that we're going to be using today. We'll be back more from Mr. Cashflow himself after this as we chat about his book. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3 and having a fascinating conversation with Jabulani Ngcobo, cash flow himself, talking about Forex trading and the impact that it has on particular individuals.
Yes.
We've clarified that he's cleared his name in terms of all the controversy that's been in the media. And it's time now to focus on exactly what it is.
Yeah, okay, so what is Forex trading, and can anyone be a trader, and how long does it take for you to learn to be a trader, but in a less risky way, or the least riskiest path to it?
Okay. Forex trading is an instrument within the financial market that you can trade. Most people are used to trading shares, you understand? You can trade shares or derivatives, commodities, and then Forex, you understand? So Forex is the main big one. It has outperformed any other investment, as I mentioned earlier, you understand? So basically, Forex trading is a battle between two currencies, you understand? So sometimes you buy euro against USD or you sell, you understand? The advantage of trading Forex is that you can make money whether the market is going up or going down. You can make money going short or going long, you understand? So because you follow the trend, so the trend should be a friend at all times. So basically, you are in control over investment. You open your own trading account, you put money in your own trading account. That's a very, 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 very good point for people to take note, because in order for you to avoid being scammed, take control over your finances. Yeah. Never, ever give your money to someone else. You understand? There are people who are using my pictures on social network claiming to be cash flow, and other successful people as well. There are a lot of fake accounts on Facebook. And never give your money to anyone that you meet on social network. They don't have a proper website, or you don't transfer money to a proper business account, you understand? So that if ever there's an issue, you'll be able to open the case and claim your money. But if you talk to a stranger on Facebook and then you transfer money on Instagram because someone is using my pictures, that's not me. I have a website that I use for my business. There are people at the office all the time. But that's what is causing people to be scammed, because they see people flashing on social network and then they fall in the trap. Exactly.
Obviously, I mean, it's a very cool conversation we're having, and I want you guys to be part of it at home. And so thanks so much for all the phone calls that have been coming through. I thought before we get all your questions,
call on the line.
Tumelo wanted to ask a really cool question. Well, besides the question, wanted to just compliment you on the work that you've done. Tumelo, welcome to Afternoon Express. How's Joburg today?
Joburg is very nice, thank you.
Stunning. All right. Apparently, you've worked alongside Jabulani.
Yes. Actually, he invested 500,000 through his company. Until today, my family never received a cent. So I want to know, when is he going to pay back the money?
All right, man.
When is he going to pay back the money?
That sounds like one of those phone calls we can't take, obviously. But thanks so much for that call, man. If you want to go and contact me about that stuff, you can contact him directly for that conversation.
I thought was that for real, or was that a prank?
It was, yeah, it was.
I'm sure it was a prank. I don't take people's money. I'm sure it's my competitor or someone trying to. That's my business philosophy. That's why I went to court and I was cleared, because I do not take people's money.
Obviously we've been inundated with stories, horrific stories about people giving in their retirement funds to all kinds of, I don't want to mention names of these scams. What would you say to people who need to be educated about this, besides just don't give your money to anyone, take control of your finances?
It's education. Forex trading is not complicated as people portray it out there.
But you must be taught how to do it. You must learn. There's a formula.
Exactly. And again, there's another problem there, because there are people who attend our training sessions, and then 3 weeks later or 2 months later, they are mentors as well. They start their own training schools, and they teach people. People go to the markets, they place trade, and they lose money. You understand? So I'll say to people, before you join a Forex trading company or anyone, do your research, see, okay, this company exists, they've got offices. These people, actually, they know what they're doing, you understand? Because if people are very good, especially the salesmen out there, they'll come with their cars that they're renting, and then they'll claim that they bought this man, they'll show you the accounts. Most guys, they've got the tendency of gambling, when they're trading. Someone will trade the account and double the account in 2 days, or in 1 week, and then they'll use that statement to market and say to people, see, I've doubled this account in 2 minutes. So I always say, if anyone can double and make 100% in 2 days, why do they see the need to train people?
Yeah.
Well, just one last question. With this whole idea of people need to develop a healthy attitude towards money and handle their money responsibly, don't you think your flashy persona and the flossing and the Mr. Cashflow kind of just flies in the face of that?
Yeah, somehow, yes, I agree with you. But again, in order for you to do business, unfortunately, people want to see that you're successful, because if you, like, that's the stigma of a black person. Like, you can find a white person wearing a short and telling you the idea, you'll buy into it. But you find a black person driving a Toyota and pitching a business concept to you, you wouldn't buy that idea. But you want to see a person driving a nice car, wearing an expensive suit, automatical, you buy. So people buy you nowadays. That's the sad part. Exactly.
Okay.
All right, interesting perceptions on the show today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Continue to use the hashtag Afternoon Express. And one of the toughest avenues of investment to understand and thrive in is property. So thanks to private property, it's hopefully to get a whole lot simpler with their brand new application that they've launched. We take a closer look at that after the break.
Hello, South Africa. Are you ready for me?
Present the search on SABC3. We're out here.
Would you want to see me on your TV?
Do you think that I have what it takes to become the next SABC3 presenter?
It's me you are looking for. When you present, you have to be passionate about it.
Just put me in front of a camera and I'll show you how it's done.
Tune in to Presenter Search on 3
on the 10th of May, 7:30 sharp
on SABC3.
The stage is yours.
Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe. It just fits my lifestyle. So thank you guys for creating it and congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
It's awesome stuff. Really, South Africa, it really is. Making sure that you guys are receiving properties that suit you. Founded in 1998, Private Property is South Africa's leading property website and a one-stop shop for property search using class-leading technology. Private Property has just launched their awesome new app, which is a must-have for property shoppers. The new app makes it really simple to search for property and is South Africa's first property feed. How cool is that? We're chatting now to Marco Torino, the man in charge of innovation, who has been responsible for project managing the build of the brand new app. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
It's such an exciting world, and I've always been a big fan of private property, market research, market news. You guys have got really cool videos, virtual reality tours of neighborhoods. There's just almost nothing that private property doesn't have. Now it's got its new app. Tell us why you built it.
Well, we listened to feedback from the users from the old app, and we wanted to make the property search experience simpler, more fun, and easier to use. So in order to do that, we decided to rebuild the app from the ground up. And yeah, we're really pleased with our results.
Nice. So let's talk quickly about why it was necessary to build an app when you've got such a dynamic site at the same time. Has it got to do with the needs of the consumer?
Well, we know our consumers are busy and don't always have time to search the website to look for properties to see if they've missed out on anything. Now, instead of trying to search and find properties, the properties now will find you through the app.
So cool. I know from my personal experience of trying to look for property in regions, it's first of all a hassle to have to go on every single time and retype in the same, filters as you go. But then there's also a lot of emails that come in afterwards, spam, I like to call it, because my inbox is filled with them. Does this app try and eliminate that?
Yes, it does. It's South Africa's first property-based feed app. And how the feed works is how we're familiar with the feed that we experience in social media apps like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where you follow whatever you're interested in. So in our app, you follow suburbs or areas that you want property in, and as soon as a property is newly listed, you will receive a push notification in your app telling you that property is available in your area.
And I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that whole process every single time I go onto the app. It'll do it once.
You set it up once, and you will receive an instant notification every time there's a property that matches.
How narrow does that go down? Because you mentioned regions and particular areas. So if I set a notification for, I don't know, the CBD in Cape Town, will I receive a whole bunch of thousands of properties that are released there, or can I narrow it down even further than that?
You can customize the feed with our filters. You can filter by property types, price range, pet-friendly, fully furnished, and many other filters. So you only get exactly what you're looking for.
Stunning. I love the website already. I think it's so user-friendly. There's such cool content on there, like the virtual realities that you can do, walk through properties, beautiful imagery, you can get beautiful descriptions. Do I lose out on that if I use the app?
You get the same functionality and capabilities on the website, just it'll perform better and you'll get a better user experience using the app.
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer almost. It feels like everything that's on the website is also on this app as well, plus so much more. It's such a cool place to be because we're fatigued by information at the moment in South Africa. And it's really nice to know that I can choose what I want to receive and when I want to receive it. It makes property searching so much easier. How has the response been on the app so far?
We've had really good feedback so far. We've had many favorable ratings and reviews on both of the app stores. And we've seen a massive increase in our users' engagement since the new app was launched.
Stunning. Marco, well, congratulations. I've had a look at it. It is incredible. It's so much easier to use. And for somebody like myself, we're starting to enter into that property space. To be able to have something so simple like this to do it just fits my lifestyle. So thank you guys for creating it and congrats.
Oh, thank you.
It's awesome stuff. Really, South Africa, it really is. Making sure that you guys are receiving properties that suit you. It's awesome. For more information, you can go to privateproperty.co.za. You can read about their new app there and make sure that you download it so that you won't miss out on your dream home.
Now, if you're enjoying watching our fur babies, Baxter and Donut, growing up on screen, make sure you also find them on Instagram. Follow the Adventures of Donut and the Adventures of Baxter on Instagram to keep up to date with their on and off screen lives.
They're cute, they're cuddly, and they're TV stars. Baxter and Donut, the adorably fluffy four-legged members of the Afternoon Express family, are sharing their daily adventures on social media. To see what Baxter and Donut get up to behind the scenes, follow the Adventures of Baxter and the Adventures of Donut on Instagram.
It's Friday. And we have to say that in between. Hashtag slavery was a choice and hashtag RIP Shamba. A lot has been happening on social media this week. Lucky for you, it's time for Online Express, and we're going to share what captivated our interest in the virtual world.
Indeed. So what could possibly be better than Chance the Rapper performing at the Dome?
Now, Chance the Rapper performing at the Dome and bringing along the popular Soweto Gospel Choir.
Yeah.
Chance took his performance to the next level by bringing on the iconic Proudly South African Choir on stage. And this was a spellbinding collaboration that makes sense as the more than 30-member strong Soweto Gospel Choir incorporates elements of African gospel, Negro spiritual, and American popular music into their music.
It was such a moment on stage. I don't know if you guys got to see all the clips that were online. It's been amazing. And the people
really
loved the local touch as well. So social media was lit with photos and all those crazy cool videos of the euphoric fans. Chance has definitely increased his popularity levels in South Africa because of that. Well, his mentor, Mr. West, lost all of his chill on social media, but that's obviously stirring up a lot of controversy in the last week or so. But that's honestly a story for another day because it is so big. That man is cray. Chance also sent a tweet out to his followers asking for songs to add to his playlist while he's in the country, and the suggestions came flooding in.
Yeah. Now, one of South Africa's most iconic TV series was announced to be in the works of being adapted into a film. Yizo Yizo was one of those series that kept us glued to our screens in every episode with their riveting storylines, and the talk of an adaptation without the original cast was daunting for many, and a lot of people had some stuff to say about it.
Yeah, the Luta TV Film Festival, I remember, made the announcement via Twitter, and the poster showed the likes of Pearl Tusi and Ngcobo, Tapelo Mokoena, as well as Connie Chume being tapped to star in that sort of remake, and none of whom were in the original cast series, and people were livid.
Yeah, a lot of people took to Twitter to express their concern and their outrage. Almaz Sitole tweeted his objection, saying they shouldn't give this they should give this to emerging talent, rather. That's what defined the real Yizo Yizo.
Yep.
Instead, we're being abused with the same people that are all over our TVs already. Yikes.
Yeah.
Abused is quite a strong choice.
But it's opened up
language.
this industry conversation that's being had in the media. We're using the same faces on the same campaigns, on the same TV shows. It's really cool to see that you're voicing your opinions. And many people don't believe that the remake of the series is actually happening in a film form. So Jacob Shine tweeted to say, this is not happening. It's not real. Someone was just having fun with the concept and made a poster, I swear.
Well, real or not, we'd like to hear from you at home if you'd go support the Yizo Yizo film, if indeed it was made, or and why.
Indeed, yeah. Please let us know your thoughts on social media. You can obviously continue the conversation happening there. It's all about opening up the industry, and it's indeed one that must continue. We completely condone that. We've still got a live performance on the show today, so go head over to social media in the ad breaks. You guys can go and see all of these tweets and messages that are coming through for the topics we brought up today. Because also later on, Ricky Tyler is going to be performing, so make sure you stay tuned. It's going to be an incredible, incredible performance. Twitter's now going to go, going to be lit for the real reasons. Stay tuned.
Yeah. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Deja vu. Think of you. Deja vu. Think of you. Of you.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. It's good to have you on the show with us today. Obviously, the countdown till the end of the show has begun. That means it's the countdown to the weekend. Singer-songwriter Ricky Tyler joins us today, and here he is to get the weekend started with an incredibly emotional performance of his brand new single. It's called Deja Vu. Enjoy, South Africa.
Only I could give you life, a little time to come alive again. You know that I would steal a night to shed some light to give you life again. Yeah. If only I could turn the time, then I would come to save your life again. 'Cause you deserve to have it all, and even more to spend. It's no, I still think of you. And every time I do, we driving through. Faded rolling down Terrace Avenue. Climbing up the view, feel like deja vu. When I think of you, feels like deja vu. Every time I think of you, feels like deja vu. Yeah. Every time I think of you, of you, of you. What's happening, Afternoon Express song? Thank you so much for having me. My name's Ricky Tyler. Cape Town, you're beautiful. This is Deja Vu. Yeah. Yeah. Look. Never would I think it was your time. And I just want to see if you're both fine. But I can see we all got a deadline. I've been trying to call, but they cutting your lifeline. You was somebody to take it further. You was on the way, I put in a 3 cook. Looking at my phone and scrolling my Facebook. Haven't got a party, they saying you fully booked. Slowing down to the fast life. Thinking how my people's now a part of my past life. I release a song telling people to breathe life. I guess I understand that we all gotta live life. Yeah. You catching a plane flight early, but you're not coming down, Jehovah just caught a birdie. You're not coming down, you boarded the flight early. You're not coming down, I wish you made it to 30. I still think of you. And every time I do, we driving through. Faded rolling down Terrace Avenue. Climbing up the view, feel like deja vu. When I think of you, feels like deja vu. Every time I think of you, yeah, feels like deja vu. Yeah. Every time I think of you, of you, of you. Every time I think of you goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Feels like deja vu, yeah. Every time I think of you, yeah. When everything feels like deja vu, yeah. Never right, never right, yeah.
Performance, and obviously when something like that happens in your life, man, to be able to express that in art like that is absolutely amazing. Come on over here, dude.
So heartfelt. Thank you so much for that performance.
We even made you food. I made you a food, steak sandwich.
Thank you so much.
So do you write all your own music?
Yes, I do.
That's incredible.
It's necessary. Are you that kind of kid who's going to say, I want to go independent for the rest of my life?
Not necessarily. Like I said, I like to work with the team. Like, we good. We good, you know?
Good.
Yeah, you're a team player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kind of sound you're going with into the future, I mean, this is such a nostalgic, beautiful song. Like, it's just got an amazing sound for it. Are you, like, going to try new genres and play around, or is it your thing?
We always do that, you know? Like, that's the reason, that's how I got to Deja Vu. I tried a new genre, and we made a song like Deja Vu. You know?
Do you think you'll ever just basically play around with the hip-hop genre on its own for a while? Or, because I think you're not a bad MC at all.
I started, like, funny enough, I started off with hip-hop, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I got into singing purely because, like, you know, they just wanted
Drake
me to try
sings.
different... Yeah. Actually, it's one of the inspirations as well, you know, just to try singing, and that's how I got into the singing.
Listen, I found a business model for you, I think, really. I mean, you started out in the sort of fashion spaces, and then found music, like releasing fashion labels. Come on, merch, it's going to be a thing.
Yeah, no, stuff, yeah.
Come on.
Look into it.
I want to see, because you got the hair, he's got the glasses, he's got the look. He might as well start making his own clothes and selling it.
Should we try out the sandwich that Dan made for us?
Okay.
So what's happening here, Dan? You know what's my worst about steak sandwiches is when you bite into the bread and then the bread pulls away and then the steak
stays.
is just like...
So I found a solution.
There.
We made it with amasi. So we've actually battered it in amasi. So it's kind of like really reduced the steak and really like taken away all the fibers. So it's tenderized it, and we've also made it a minute steak. So it's kind of been really bashed and bruised. So by the time you take a bite, it'll melt before the bread will melt.
Yeah, so you're good. You're good.
You're good. You're good. I dare you guys to take a bite on national television. Good luck. Let's see what happens. Come, let's see if it works. Come on, it's Friday.
Okay, well,
let's see if the steak stays.
Let me tell everybody what's happening on Monday while you taste it. Join us again on Monday afternoon when we hang out with the beautiful and talented Ngcobo, who chats to us about her career and being a mom.
Yum.
Tommy?
You good?
Is it good? It's good.
Oh, it's so yummy.
You have to eat it because we made it for you.
That is yummy, and my steak stayed behind.
Okay, I'm gonna cut mine.
The bread's it's a tough,
but it's crispy.
Yeah, it's a bit crispy.
It's a challenge, right?
It's delicious. Have a good weekend, South Africa. We've loved hanging out with you. We'll see you same time, same place next week.
God bless.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.